Hi guys. Hi Zhang. It's a long time to see you. So how this going now?
Oh, hi everyone. And so my life in Australia, the study abroad life is the great. It feels so different from Vietnam, but it's quite lonely because I think that only I feel so lonely because there's no one I get you here. But my friends, my teachers, are so great. And I'm now in my final semester, and I think next week I'm gonna have some final exam. Yeah.
Yeah, our life in Vietnam is also really great, but we really miss you when you go to the Australia for university, and I hope that we can meet you again in the August when you come back to Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I meet you guys too. And how you study in Vietnam? Recently I just have a lesson about the WTO to my class, and now I am having a homework about it, a homework about the role of WTO. So I just want to ask you guys about it. So do you think that the WTO serves as a forum for the government to negotiate trade issue or implement the trade agreement?
Uh, yes, about the WTO, we are also study about it in our class. And about your question, yes, I think so. The WTO provide a platform for member government to come together and address trade-related matters, and it acts as a forum where a country can discuss and resolve their trade problems with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. At the heart of the WTO are the agreements that have been negotiating and signed by the majority of the world's trading nations. And these agreements establish the legal framework for international commerce. They essentially serve as contracts, binding governments to adhere to agree upon limits in their trade policies. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's so interesting. So why the agreement are negotiated and signed by the government? Their purpose is to benefit the producer of goods and service as well as the exporter and importer. So how does the WTO actually facilitate the negotiation and implementation of trade agreements?
Uh, okay, Zhang, we will have you to for your homework. So I think in my opinion, the WTO operates through a series of trade negotiation called rounds, and these negotiations address various aspects of international trade, such as tariff, non-tariff measures, anti-dumping, and more. And the most recent round, the Uruguay round, which took place from I think the 1986 to 1994, led to an establishment of the WTO.
Yeah, and I find an interesting information on the internet. The negotiating process didn't stop down even after the Uruguay round. Negotiations continue. For instance, agreements were reached in areas like telecommunication service, information technology products, and financial service.
Oh yeah, that's impressive. So the WTO keep the negotiation process ongoing. So what about the implementing the trade agreement?
I think the WTO plays a vital role in monitoring and ensuring the implementation of trade agreements. And the WTO also provides a platform for members to discuss and address any issues or disputes that arise during implementation phase. That's correct.
Yeah, and additionally, the WTO provides technical assistance and capacity building programs, especially for developing countries, to help them effectively participate in negotiations and implement the WTO agreements. And this support aims to create a level playing field and ensure that all member countries can benefit from global trade. For example, Vietnam has taken a lot of advantages from WTO and these policies. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's great. By the way, have you ever heard about the agreement on the TRIM? Yeah, it's short for Trade Related Investment Measure. It is one of the agreement under the WTO that focus on the investment measure.
Yes, I think I have read it on the internet. Yes, I'm familiar with it. So TRIMs is an important agreement within the WTO framework. It addresses investment-related measures that affect trade, aiming to create a more transparent and predictable environment for foreign investment.
Yeah. And absolutely, the agreement on GRIM sets out certain rules and principles regarding trade-related investment measures that member countries should follow. And these measures include requirements imposed by governments on foreign investors or their investments, such as local content requirements or restrictions on technology transfer.
Oh, that's interesting. So the agreement aim to remove or restrict the trade. barrier imposed by the government on the foreign investment. So how does it contribute to the overall goal of WTO?
The agreement on TRIMs aligns with the broader objectives of the WTO, which include promoting open and non-discriminatory trade by addressing investment measures that affect trade. It helps create a more level playing field for foreign investors and contributes to a transparent and predictable investment climate. Yeah, that's information I found on the internet.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. I'm searching on the internet, so I think the agreement encourages members countries to review and modify their investment measure to ensure that they comply with the principle of non-discrimination, transparency, and fair treatment of foreign investors. And this helps facilitate a more favorable investment environment, benefiting both investors and the host country.
Oh yeah, thank you. So are there any specific provision or requirement outlined in the agreement on TRIM?
Yes, there are certain provisions that member countries need to adhere to. For example, the agreement prohibits certain types of investment measures that are deemed trade distorting or discriminatory, such as local content requirement that impose monetary levels of domestic inputs in production. Yeah. So, how do you think about that?
Yeah, that's interesting. So the agreement on TRIM not only provides the guideline for the member country to follow, and also they promote transparency and information sharing related to the investment measure.
Yeah, absolutely. It plays a crucial role in fostering a more favorable investment climate by addressing trade-related barriers and encourage fair treatment of foreign investors.
Yes, Zhang. So ending, and indeed, the agreement of TRIMs, along with other agreement under the WTO, also helps establish a rule-based system that promotes economic growth and encourage investment flows and ensure that trade and investment policies are mutually supportive.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see how the WTO covers the various aspects of the international trade and investment, and the agreement on the TRIM is an essential component in promoting a transparent and non-discriminatory investment environment. Yeah.
Yeah, uh, absolutely. The WTO's comprehensive approach to trade and investment issues contributes to a more stable and prosperous global economy. Yeah.
Wow, thank you guys. I think I have enough idea for my homework, and I have noted some ideas down. Thank you guys a lot for helping me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Just ask us when you need help. And goodbye. See you again in August.
Yes, goodbye, Zhang. I hope to see you again in Vietnam. See you again in
Yeah,
August.
I hope.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I hope to see you guys soon. Yeah, bye. So,